Hey, here's the Samurai Bringer overview that a lot of people have been asking for. I've been getting a lot of questions about what the hell is this game, what are you playing, and I've beaten the game, let's see, probably about 15 times, so I think now is a good time to explain what I can. A lot of things in this game are obtuse by design, so you kind of have to go into it expecting that you'll have to experiment with things, and not everything is going to be taught to you right away. So the first thing here is, this is the core mechanic of the game. This is the action builder. This is what you use to basically build your moveset. I've seen a lot of people complaining about the controls in this game, and I think it's pretty dumb because you're given 5 buttons and you can put them anywhere you want. Put the actions anywhere you want. The basic control scheme that you get when you, or rather the default one, it's a little bit unorthodox. You have attack on A, jump on B, X is step, which is like your dash, and then you have 2 attack buttons here. But you can change these around however you want. One major nitpick is that you can't change this while you're in the hub. You have to actually go into the game, which does feel a little bit cumbersome, especially when you don't have access to secret scrolls and stuff to just quickly change your loadout. So if you don't like the default loadout, you're going to have to expect to spend like, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds to a minute at the start of every run doing this, which is a little bit strange design-wise, because you're always tied to this game, except when you have the actual pause button on. Anything like accessing this menu, the time will still go up, so you want to kind of not spend too much time in menus, so definitely hope that's something that they'll fix in patches. Regardless, if you played a Musou game, you'll understand exactly how the officer system works in this game. If you played Samurai Warriors or Dynasty Warriors in particular, you have your generic officers and you have your named officers. Named officers both drop gear, and once you beat them once, they will appear in here. And what these are is they're basically all starting loadouts, but they also kind of double as like a teaching tool, because you can combine these moves that you get. You have like a limited amount of moves, but if you combine them in certain ways, you can get unique moves and you can change the properties of them as well. So basically, you might not stick with these for too long, but they give you a good baseline of like what to go for. So let's go ahead and pick Kotaro here. He's got this crazy thing here. So if you took this exact loadout here, you could use it in your game whenever you want. The character you pick actually does not matter. It really just, it's basically just a skin, and it gives you a little bit of a baseline of what to work with so that you can make your own build. So he's got Power Step, which is like a cancel. He's got this crazy thing. Dive kick. He's got a cover. Now, the other mechanic I should explain here in the hub is the achievement system. Now, in terms of the actual achievements that you unlock on the Steam thing or PS4, these are separate. These are basically all stat boosts. As you can see, I've been grinding this game like crazy. I've got the majority of it unlocked, but as you unlock these, you'll get more passive bonuses. You get more health. You'll get more slots for your moveset. You'll also get more chains for your moveset as well. So right now, I have like a max of like 800 SP, 1000 HP, and then I also have 40 slots for this. Each time you push the button on one of these, the count will go up, and you can get it up to a cap of 40. That's what seems to be the cap right now. So let's go ahead and go into the game. I'll see firsthand how kind of awkward this is. There is one thing that does help. If you go to... So actually, first I'm gonna put the moves where I want them. So I'm gonna put this here. Okay. Now it's a little bit more conventional. Now, what you could also do is you can use the secret scrolls. Secret scrolls allow you to basically save a loadout and just put it on right away. So, like, right now, he's got this. But if I go here, and I go to secret scroll, see, I've got some Wind Ninja stuff here. I made these earlier today. Now it's changed. So let's go ahead and change this too. Takes a little bit of time to do this, as you can see. It's very awkward. I definitely think it's one of the worst things about this game, is that you can't just go in here and change something. So let's go ahead and get rid of that too. You really need to be able to do this when you're out in the main world. Okay, so let's make one from scratch. We'll take 3 reverse slices. We'll take this, which basically is, doubles the amount of hits you do. We'll take an expand. Take a bunch of those. We'll take defense break. Beef. Power, and we'll put flame on. Now when I do this, look at that. How cool is that, man? Really cool stuff. That's like a teleport. Keep copying this. So every time you beat an enemy, there's a chance that a scroll will drop. These are all the scrolls that can drop in the game, and you combine these in different ways so that you can basically make your own custom moveset. So you look at how many jumps he's got right now. Oops. Now I've got 4 jumps. Okay, so now let's get into the gameplay. You can see I'm a little bit overpowered, but for the purpose of keeping this video short, despite how much there is to explain, it's actually pretty nice. So the like sensei there, he gives you a lot of tips. Here's a unique officer. He got shredded. So he dropped just a junk item. Okay, here we go. So sometimes you open up a chest and a bunch of unique officers will come out. And if you beat them, you'll get a lot of materials. You get keys, scrolls, and gear. Go. One thing that's annoying about this game, you notice my character's going around like he's drunk. What that means is when you use the status effect in this game, it also affects you. It's just kind of wacky and annoying, but if you get a ability on gear that allows you to resist it, it doesn't just make you take less damage, it also prevents you from getting the status effect as well. So here's the gear system right now. Each character that you start with, they have like one thing on their helmet that they start with. Everything else is going to be just basic. So this will give me max HP. The rest of this is not too useful so far, so let's go ahead and go to the next floor. I'm going to show a little bit of the gear before I show how the boss system works. You notice in the upper right-hand corner, it says first day, 4 AM. Basically, that's the game scaling. I've heard that it doesn't scale bosses, but I kind of think it does. I'm not quite sure if it does. It says that it doesn't on the little Steam hint pages they're making for this, but generally, you want to not scale things up too much if you actually plan on finishing the run. This game is pretty unique that it launches with a full endless mode, like, right away. I've played a lot of roguelikes like this, and sometimes they really, they make you wait for stuff like that. But this game, they pretty much just give it to you right away. It's pretty cool. Alright, so, got some more gear here. We'll take Enhanced Death. Probably need more damage at this point. You want to always take out generic officers because they're the ones that drop keys. Keys are very important, especially if you're going to be kind of doing a boss rush run. Yeah, there's my favorite character from Basara. He's right here. In the flesh. So each time you pick up one of these scrolls, you'll get one extra use for whatever you put on. So if you have a pretty decked out build like this, you definitely want to have as many of the scrolls as possible. So let's go ahead and make another thrust. Got a nice little combo there. Okay, so these little lantern ghosts, they guard the boss gate. So if you kill them, you go to the boss. So the boss here, you'll fight powered up unique officer, and then the boss will spawn. So let's see which boss we get this time. Fortunately, one downside to this game is that you fight all the bosses every time, so it gets a little bit repetitive. It's kind of weird that they have like almost 10 bosses in this game, but you just fight them every single time, which I feel it makes it get a little bit repetitive. Like, they have enough bosses to maybe just give you, like, they have enough bosses to, like, give the runs more variety, but for whatever reason they make you fight them both each time, or all of them every time, which feels kind of counterproductive to me. I play a lot of roguelikes that have much worse boss variety than this, but unfortunately this game kind of knows it's low, like, right away. Anyway, when you beat a boss, you have two options. Generally, I recommend coming in here after you've beaten a couple of generic officers, because there will usually be some keys in here. You have two options. You can go in the purple gate, and you can go immediately to another boss, or you can find the blue gate, which is actually down here. And you can go back to basic levels. So when you're first starting out, you're probably not going to want to fight too many bosses right away. Ideally, you want to do some farming, hit up all the Torii gates, which are basically like pre-made puzzles. You want to do all those puzzles because those give you the biggest buffs. And then you want to go to the boss with a couple keys so that you can both replenish your resources and also hopefully get some gear. Okay, so now I can show the secret scroll mechanic. Let's go ahead and get over there. Enhanced attack. That's always good to have. Let's go ahead and put that here. Magoichi. Alright, so let's go in here. Now this is another nitpick about this game. The secret scroll mechanic is really nice in practice because it allows you to go in here and basically set up loadouts so that whenever you start with the character, you're spending less time in the menu. You're still spending a lot at the beginning of a run just to get the loadout the way you want it. But in here, you can spend 500 gold and buy as many of these as you want. See, I already bought 30 of them. Let's buy one right now. So the main problem is that you need to actually be in this menu to actually customize these. So if you find a good loadout you want, like, let's go ahead and add these down here. You can actually go to your action builder and just copy it. So I made this little nice elemental slice combo here. So let's copy the second part. Three-piece combo meal here. There we go. Now the third one. And you can also name them as well. So let's go ahead and do that. Call this Thrust Combo 1. So I strongly recommend, when you start this game, definitely do some farming and find the dojo and come in here and just buy a bunch of these. That way, when you start experimenting with other builds and you start to understand how all the mechanics work, you can just come in here and just make the build you want and you can just put them on every character. Because like I said, every character is exactly the same. They have the same abilities. They basically just have presets. And the presets kind of double as a way of teaching you how you can combine things in the action builder and get unique moves, or the same moves with unique properties. Like this bonkers thing here that, like, destroys the whole screen. Anyway, that's basically it. I don't want to make this video too long. In terms of things to unlock, there's all the characters, there's the passive bonuses that you can get on the gear. Each character does start with a helmet piece that has something unique on it. Other than that, in terms of what carries over, everything in here carries over, which doesn't seem like it's that much, but it actually is. Being able to make these broken moves is what is really going to make the grinding go a lot faster once you understand how this action builder system works. Also, the amount of scrolls you have will allow you to have a more diverse moveset. Like you see right here, I've got like full chains and stuff. If you want to use these, you're going to need a lot of scrolls, and to get scrolls, you're just going to have to keep playing. There is a true ending to unlock. There's 50 of the Torii gates, which are basically like pre-designed puzzles. There's also something really cool. If I go back to the options here, you go to the title screen. Now, I know a lot of you are Muso fans, so you're going to be really happy to see this. I take no responsibility if your computer explodes from doing this, but once you beat the game once, spoilers, you can go in here, and you can double how many foot soldiers there are. Now, that's not just for show, it's not just for Muso fans like most of my community. It'll actually allow you to farm a lot faster, too, so you can go in here and you can speed things up, you can get a lot of scrolls, a lot of keys, and use that to upgrade things as you go. Overall, the game is very fun. There definitely are some polished things that are wrong with it. The fact that you can't, like, use the loadout option unless you find the dojo, and also not being able to change your loadout in the hub so that you can actually just start playing right away and not have to awkwardly make the game scale up while you're in menus. I think those are the biggest things that need to be fixed. The game is kind of obtuse by design. I think the unlockable character system is pretty ingenious because it doesn't inherently give you an advantage. It's mostly just it teaches you how to use the action builder system, which is a very deep, diverse system. I've been playing this game for like 12, 13 hours, and I still haven't figured out a lot of the unique combinations you can use. There's even like full unique moves in there that you can get by combining things in a certain way. It definitely does help. If it does help, actually, they have been posting a lot of little hint posts in the Steam page for this. I recommend looking at those if you buy the game. Definitely gives you a little bit of guidance. I really struggled with a lot of the bosses because I couldn't figure out how to hit them because their weak points were not on ground level, but once you understand how the system works, you can shred them pretty quickly. The game is really fun. I think it has quite a bit of content. Replayability really depends on like what you kind of like in these games. If you like really diverse builds and stuff, I mean, unfortunately, you can kind of just make those builds right away once you grind enough, but there's lots of different moves, lots of different combinations you can make. Most of the unlocks is pretty much just the characters, the scrolls, which indirectly allow you to get more moves, and then also the achievement system, which gives you permanent bonuses. Once you get those, you can shred through the game pretty quickly as long as you're using the action builder mechanic properly. But overall, I think you could use a little bit more, maybe like a harder difficulty with more drops or something, or like a different weapon class. But for 10 bucks, I mean, they're not really asking that much for this. I feel like I could have paid 20, 30 bucks for this right now, and I still would have been satisfied. But if you're looking for a lot of material replay value, this game is deceptively not that grindy. If you put a couple hours into the game, I estimate you could probably beat the game the first time in about probably 4 to 6 hours. At that point, you can go back into the game with your same character, your same build. You can get the true ending, and you can also just keep grinding and do things that way. It's actually the best way to grind is to try to get a good build and then beat the game with it, and then go back into the game again and just keep grinding with your broken character. That's actually the most ideal way to do things. So if you like a grind, but you like one that's like not too intense, it's definitely not easy to beat the game with the base character. If you want a completely skill-based roguelite, I wouldn't recommend this. Hades, Hades, you can Hades actually has voice lines and stuff if you beat it without grinding. Dead Cells is another one as well. You can beat that game with trash items. This, you definitely need to grind a little bit, but it's actually a lot less daunting than you think. The power scaling increases drastically as you get more capacity for your moves. You also unlock passive bonuses to get more SP, which means you can use more powerful moves, and then you also will get characters which will allow you to start with the desired weapon you want, which helps to mitigate a lot of the RNG. Thanks for watching.